G'day cocktail lovers, I hope you've been keeping well. I hope you're ready for whatever might happen in this video because this is just my kitchen. I shoot this in my kitchen and tonight I'm actually hosting a party for my offspring's 21st birthday. He's got a few friends in the next room, a limited number because we still have some restrictions on people in the house because of COVID, but they're at the drinking song stage in the next room. They're having fun, so let's just pretend I'm actually shooting this video in a bar and you'll get a little bit of background noise. Oh, what a week. Okay, so this week coming up is very interesting. The weekend at the end of this week, like I'm always talking about drink days, which days are the day for a drink. And over the coming weekend is International Rum Day, Pina Colada Day, and Mojito Day, all over the weekend. So I thought, I'm going to get stuck into it. I love rum drinks, and I love a Pina Colada, I love a Mojito, but I'm going to make this rum week. So all the videos this week are going to be rum, but a little bit different. So in preparation for World Rum Day and Pina Colada Day, which is on Saturday this week, I'm going to do, because it's Milk Punch Monday, insert guitar riff here when I'm editing. So I'm going to do a milk clarified Pina Colada. Because what's fun about a Pina Colada, because you put cream of coconut, like often the commercial products like Coco Lopez and a few others, which are actually super hard to get in Australia. But what's better than them anyway is homemade cream of coconut. All you need to do is get some coconut milk, not coconut cream because that's too thick, but and not coconut water because that's too thin. Coconut milk, the happy medium, and you just do 50% coconut milk by weight, 50% sugar. Put it in a pot over just a low heat. You don't want to boil it, you just want it to be warm because it's easier to dissolve the sugar into the coconut milk if it's warmed up. And it goes from being the sort of white color that it is as coconut milk to being this sort of opaque color. I'll show you actually. I had forgotten to get it out of the fridge. This is my homemade cream of coconut. Now, why this really lends itself to a milk clarified Pina Colada. When you're clarifying a cocktail, you don't need dairy milk necessarily. There are two things you need. Your base drink needs to have an acid content, and citrus and other fruit juices are a good source of that. And the thing you're using to clarify it needs fat content. Now, we often use dairy milk, but cream of coconut has more than sufficient fat content. So what I'm going to do is make all the components of a Pina Colada without the cream of coconut, and then add it to the cream of coconut, which will be the clarifying agent, and we are going to end up with a milk clarified Pina Colada. Little tip with milk clarifying. One of the things milk clarifying does is really softens the flavors that are in the drink. So often with a Pina Colada, you will use a white rum because we don't want the rum to dominate. But the thing is, when you clarify it, it will soften the flavors anyway. So you shouldn't be afraid to use really bold flavors. So when I do a milk clarified Pina Colada, I use very bold rums rather than a white rum or a light rum. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got this Cuban rum, Santissima Trinidad, a 15-year aged Cuban rum, and I am going to add 2 ounces of my aged rum. And I'm not mucking around with bold flavors. I've got my overproof rum here. I have my Inner Circle cask strength rum. This is 75.9%, so over 151 proof. So to be really bold, I'm going to add some of this, but just half an ounce of overproof rum. Still keeping up with the bold flavors. I want some real character in this drink because the clarification is going to soften it a bit. So I'm going to add half an ounce of Primento dram, also known as allspice dram. It's got some fantastic flavors, and just half an ounce will really lift this Pina Colada up. So here we go with 15 mils, half an ounce of Primento dram. I'm also adding some pineapple juice. I'm freshly opened as opposed to fresh pressed, because as I always say, I think pineapple is the hardest juice to get fresh. and this is 100% juice, no additives, etc., etc. So I'm more than happy to use this, and I'm going to add 3 ounces of pineapple juice. When you're clarifying a cocktail, you want to remember the ratio of 4 to 1. Should be 4 parts your base drink to 1 part whatever's going to be doing the clarifying. The dairy milk, or in this case, cream of coconut, homemade cream of coconut. So I gave you the measurements for a single drink. For the sake of this, I'm actually going to make a big batch because I'm going to a party and I'm going to take some of this with me. So I'm making a big batch, but for the purposes of the normal ratios, for those ratios I just said, you would have about 1 to 1.5 ounces of cream of coconut, and you add the drink to the cream of coconut. That's quite important. And one thing you need to know, if you've done milk clarification before, but you haven't done it with coconut milk does behave differently to dairy milk. Dairy milk tends to form large curds, very visible curds when you do the separation. You'll see the separation with cream of coconut, but it'll be much finer particles, and it will take much more time to actually do the clarification. So after we add the drink to the cream of coconut, leave it for half an hour to an hour to get some separation, and then pour it. I just use a coffee filter. It's a good idea if you're using a paper coffee filter to rinse it with water first, because you can pick up a weird taste from the paper. But you pour the drink through the coffee filter. The first stuff that goes through, the curds won't have fully settled in the bottom of the filter. And it's the curds that do the hard work, not the filter paper. So after you let it run through for a couple of minutes, you want to put that back through. Like I said, depending on how much volume you're doing with your drink, it could take a long time. It could take hours. You need to be patient, but you will get a great, clear result. I don't want to judge, but literally the worst karaoke is happening in the next room. I have no idea how much of it my microphone's picking up. I'm going to try and obscure it. But this is our final product, the milk clarified Pina Colada. I'm going to put a dehydrated orange wheel in there, just because I think that's photogenic. And but yes, so after putting those really bold rums in there, and yeah, the base thing, it was an opaque brown drink, and now it's this clear golden colour, and it really shows off my magic invisible ice, by the way. But what does it taste like? Because I haven't had a proper taste of this yet. Oh, this is probably my favourite milk clarified drink. It's just, it's like it preserves the sweetness of all the various ingredients, the pineapple juice, the rums, etc. And it is definitely obscuring the amount of rum in here. And you saw how much rum I put in here. This is a very dangerous drink, and I'm seriously going to enjoy it. So that's why I've given you a bit of time. You might need to go out and get a few ingredients and spend a bit of time if you want to do a milk clarified pina colada, the Pina Colada day. I made a big batch. I'm taking it to a party. I'm going to have a good time. Hope you have a good time. If you did have if you're interested in this and you want to see more from me, please subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. I'd love to see you back again. Let me know if there's a particular drink you'd like to see clarified on another Milk Punch Monday. And otherwise, I hope to see you again soon. Those guys are so rowdy in the next room. I have no idea if this was a good idea to try and shoot this video. I'm going to finish now. Take care of yourself. Take care of people around you. Do bad karaoke. And until I see you again, cheers.